Time and again, there is revolution and freshness that is introduced in the world of fashion to break from the mundane uniformity that is caused by societal conditions, cultural and world events in general, and such newness is absolutely needed to break the patterns and inertia that happens over a period of time. One such designer who revolutionized fashion and created some iconic looks that are still revered in the industry is Christian Dior. Christian Dior, though never formally studied fashion, was able to create such an iconic fashion brand that stood the test of times. Now, what were the influences that shaped him to a designer that he became? And how has this brand continued to have the lasting impression in this industry? Let's find out. Let's have a look at the early life of Christian Dior. Christian Dior was born on January 21st, 1905, in Granville, a charming seaside town in Normandy, France. He was the second of 5 children in a wealthy and well-connected family. His father was a successful fertilizer manufacturer, and his mother was a traditional homemaker who adored cultivating their family garden, a passion that would later influence Dior's designs. Although his family expected him to pursue a diplomatic career, Dior had passion for arts. He studied political science in Paris to please his parents, of course, but was more drawn towards the creative pursuits, particularly drawing and music. After finishing his studies, Dior opened an art gallery in 1928 with the help of his father. The gallery showcased works by some of the emerging artists, including Dali, Picasso. However, the economic downturn during the Great Depression forced the closure of this gallery in the year 1931. Dior began earning a living by selling his fashion sketches to designers and magazines. His knack for creating elegant, imaginative designs caught the attention of prominent Parisian fashion houses. By the late 1930s, he secured a job working under Robert Piguet, a renowned designer, where he honed his skills and began shaping his distinctive style. But during World War II, Dior served in the military. Thus, it interrupted his budding fashion career. However, after the war, he returned to Paris, eager to re-establish himself in the fashion industry. Dior's re-entry into fashion happened in 1941 as he began working for Lucien Lelong, a leading Parisian designer. Here he worked alongside another future fashion legend, Pierre Balmain. He designed dresses for the wives of Nazi officers and French collaborators, a necessity to keep the French fashion industry afloat during the German occupation. This period honed Dior's skills in tailoring, fabric selection, and understanding the logistics of running a fashion house. Dior was very ambitious and he knew the importance of networking and grabbing opportunities when presented. His breakthrough came in the year 1946 when Marcel Boussac, a wealthy textile magnate who was known as Cotton King of France, invited him to design for a Parisian fashion house founded in the year 1925. However, Dior declined the offer because he preferred building something of his own rather than reviving an existing brand. Recognizing Dior's talent and potential, Boussac offered to finance the creation of his own fashion house. Initially, Dior envisioned opening a small dress shop, but with Boussac's encouragement and financial backing, he established the House of Dior on December 8, 1946 in Paris. In February the following year, Dior presented his first collection, officially called Corolle, a reference to the botanical term corolla, meaning circlet of flowers and petals. You can say the mother's influence here. But later this was termed as the New Look by Harper Bazaar's editor, Carmel Snow. The New Look was an instant success, propelling Dior into an international fame and cementing his place in fashion industry. But what were the reasons for this collection to gain popularity and success? A. It was a bold return to femininity. During World War II, women's clothing was heavily influenced by rationing and practicality, with boxy silhouettes, short skirts, and minimal fabric usage. Dior's new look broke away from this austerity with an opulent, hyper-feminine aesthetic characterized by cinched waist to accentuate an hourglass figure, voluminous skirts that used extravagant amounts of fabric, up to 25 yards per skirt, rounded shoulders, and soft curves, replacing the angular wartime styles. This return to glamour and celebration of the female form resonated deeply with women who were eager to embrace beauty and luxury again. It was a symbol of post war optimism. The new look became a symbol of renewal and hope in a world recovering from the devastation of World War. Dior's luxurious designs embodied optimism and a promise of a brighter future, offering women a sense of escapism and the opportunity to feel glamorous again. For Dior, it was essential to be able to subtly form fabric to the fullness that he favored in skirts, peplums, bustles, and in some cases even at the shoulder. With time, his style evolved in terms of the choice of fabric and bulk in his designs, while still keeping in touch with the softness and femininity that he initially started out with. Fabric manipulation to the likes of gathering, pleating, and attention to details have been a constant since the beginning, be it the bar suit or evening gowns. But juxtaposing details like relaxed collar with a fitted suit, pairing bulk with slimness while still including the elements of nostalgia and sophistication from the past began later in his career. This design sensibility and brand identity has been carried forward by the talented creative directors who succeeded him to build House of Dior to the status it has today. Be it Yves Saint Laurent, John Galliano to Maria Grazia Chiuri, we see a continued vision being carried forward by them, along with amalgamating their own touch of fashion sense to the brand's identity with evolving definition of luxury today. Christian Dior laid the foundation for what would become one of the most expansive and prestigious accessory lines in luxury fashion, with introducing Miss Dior perfume alongside presenting the new look. The perfume was inspired by his sister, Catherine Dior, and it symbolized femininity and refinement. Marc Dior's vision of offering more than fashion, a complete sensory experience. While Dior himself focused on couture, his vision inspired his successors to expand the brand's offerings. By the 1970s, this brand began to formally develop its accessory lines, including handbags, to meet the growing demand of high-end luxury goods. These early handbags were designed to complement the ready-to-wear collections, introduced by Marc Pohan and later by John Sanko Ferry. Today, under creative leaders like Maria Grazia Chiuri, Dior's accessories, from bags to shoes to jewelry and sunglasses, are iconic symbols of modern luxury and style. This is the famous Lady Dior bag, which was gifted to Princess Diana by the First Lady of France. Diana was frequently photographed carrying this bag, and it was soon renamed as Lady Dior in her honor. This bag became an instant classic and solidified Dior's reputation in the luxury handbag market. But do you know the inspiration behind this iconic luxury bag's design, which enchanted the royals and celebrities back in the day? Hint? It's an utility bag.